Out of all the other Bonds, he was a dog.
He really was.
Yeah.
He was. I remember this one woman. He walked in on this woman while she's taking a bath, and she's like, "Could you give me some, privacy?" And he's like, "I'd rather not." and she was like, "Well, could you at least give me something to put on?" And he handed her a pair of shoes.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Wacky Wonderful Wiseworks podcast.
We're coming in at 7 a.m.
7 a.m. Monday morning. Welcome.
The ice
trying to
cream
make a
truck
living.
is the most perverse thing on this planet. Maybe
Wow.
not on this planet,
Yeah.
Wow.
but it's definitely top 20.
Wyatt was like, where the heck did you get pizza? And I'm like, I don't know, it's been in the fridge for a while.
Luke falls in the pit, and Darth Vader uses the Force to hit the switch and goes, "Oh, too easy." He's got all his sass. I'm like, all right.
There's a lot of good moments.
on that.
Dude, I can't take it.
Wyatt, you go pass up.
Sick. Oh, you started it over again.
My bad.
Hi, and welcome back to the Wacky Wonderful Wiseworks podcast. I'm here with Joe and Josh. I don't
know what we're doing here.
And
all you guys, gals, geeks, and goofballs,
that's right.
of course.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I was
We're
waiting
getting
for you
into
to hit it all.
Yeah,
All the points.
I was waiting for one of you two to grab it.
No.
When I pointed to you.
Oh.
But you know what?
We just said hi.
We got there.
Yes.
In a roundabout way.
So last week I was in New Jersey.
Yep.
One of the most beautiful places on the planet, New Jersey.
Let me tell you.
It's new.
It's Jers.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was
All
doing.
right, just stop. Just stop.
I
Stop there.
discovered something about New Jersey.
Okay.
It's a pretty nice place.
Yeah.
Now, I will say there are rough places, but
That's everywhere you
it's
go.
very salt of the earth kind of people there.
What about pepper?
Not
of the
too
earth?
angry, not too nice.
What about pepper of the earth?
Yeah,
No.
just salt.
Just salt.
But yes, I was on a trip to New Jersey, and the person I was with did not want to stay downtown New York, in Brooklyn or Queens or any place like that. I've stayed the night in Queens. It's great.
Did you see Spider-Man?
No, I did not. I wish I would have. I was looking out the window. I was like, where is he going? Anytime now, boy. But they didn't want to stay downtown, so we had to go into Brooklyn for a shoot. And for the first time in my life, I experienced a brownstone home.
Very cool.
I
New
thought you were
York.
going to say something else because of your experience last time. Brownstone.
Well, last time, I've never seen anyone poop in public at New York. I've been there twice. I've been to Portland about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I saw it in Portland. Stop holding my hand. About 5 minutes in Portland, public pooper.
Public pooper.
Public.
In New York, I've
They've
been there
got
twice.
a little bit more class.
I've been there overnight, 2 days, so 2 days. And I've been there one full day, walking the streets. I've literally walked the streets multiple times. No pooper.
The
no
golden
pooping.
streets.
Yeah, there's some trash on the road. There's some people that look like, they haven't showered in a few decades. But
Yeah, but the New York people know how to poop behind a dumpster.
that's right. They go away from the people to relieve themselves and not on the sidewalk.
And if you're from New York and you've seen public defecation, feel free to
leave it in the comments.
leave it in the comments. Let
Tell
us
us about
know
your story.
the story.
Now, I will say this. I have seen a guy peeing in New York, but he was hiding behind a trash can.
Smart.
And it was in the
Extreme.
subway.
That's
so
class.
Two levels of discreet. So he's like, I gotta pee. It's gonna be public. It's gonna be public. So he's like, where can I go? I got it. I'll go underground where there's less people.
Isn't there a lot of people in the subway?
But they're coming and going. They're not just hanging out.
Nah, nobody's lingering.
Nobody's
loitering.
lingering in the subway. He's like, I'll go underground. That's pretty secluded.
My Martians are coming.
And then I'll hide behind a trash can, and then I'll pee.
Yeah.
And granted, there'll be a few people that see me, but they won't see my privates. Whereas, again, in contrast, I saw the entire butt of this man from Portland. And the booty hole. So
Everything. The chocolate starfish and everything.
So I'm much more comfortable in New York than I am on the West Coast for most of your cities. Cheers to you, West Coasters. No class.
No class.
None at all.
They can't even pee behind a trash can.
They can't even be bothered to take a little whiz in slight privacy.
Yeah. Where are we going next with this? I don't know. I was trying to transition
I got you.
to the next thing.
We also
did
did
it
something
bad.
else recently. We went and watched a movie at the theater. We haven't been in a minute.
Yeah,
Was this
we
your first
saw-
movie here?
No,
No,
we
he
went
was
and
with
saw
us
something
the other
else.
one. So
What did we watch?
The second Quiet Place.
Oh, yeah. We watched Quiet
that
Place
was
number 2 in
cool.
the theater.
That was awesome.
Well, this past weekend, we went to a theater, the AMC, and we watched ourselves a movie. Something that Mackenzie was looking forward to for a long time, and that was Dear Evan Hansen.
Why is he? Yeah, okay, never mind.
What?
I don't know. He just looks cut off.
This was the poster.
Oh, okay. So what do you think about Hansen?
Okay, I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say because I came into it with I know most of all these songs because Mackenzie is slightly obsessed with the story. She loves Ben Platt. He was the original Broadway Evan Hansen.
It was a lot longer than I expected. Like halfway through the movie, there's this song. It's the song of the movie for some reason. Halfway through, not the end. I don't know why they did that.
That's usually when they put the big songs about halfway through.
I thought that was the end.
Halfway through. It was only 2 hours. Did you think it was going to be done after a mere 60 minutes?
Yeah.
It was a lot leading up to that moment.
Yes.
I mean, I felt like they were going to start winding down after that.
Yeah, I don't want to give spoilers for people that might be interested, but this is a review, and so we're going to be spoiling a few things. If you don't know the story of Dear Evan Hansen, in a nutshell, he writes a letter to himself, and then somebody that he met a couple times dies by suicide. And people think that he wrote the letter to him, Evan Hansen, but really Evan Hansen was writing the letter to himself for it was a part of his therapy.
Yeah.
And it's a big movie about mental health and depression and suicide. And so it was a crazy drum.
Singing.
And singing. Yeah, emotional singing.
Yeah.
1 out of 10.
1 out of 10? Really?
1 out of 10.
You would a 1 out of 10.
Either 6 or 7.
No. I'm saying, what are you going to give it? I'm not saying.
Oh, I thought you were 1 out of 10.
No. What are we
1 out of
saying?
10.
1 through 10.
I'm gonna give it a 6 or 7. Let's land on a 7 because the singing was very good.
Okay, first of all, are you all right?
Stop, Joshua. Stop bringing attention to this.
What?
He's sniffing something. He says there's going to be a bad smell in here, and he's bringing it up in the middle of our review.
I can't smell it.
Never mind.
All right. What were you going to say? I said 7 or about a 7.
I was going to say, we haven't even reviewed the movie. We haven't gotten through any talking points or anything.
That's true. So Joshua wants to know right up front, what do we rate it?
I'm just, we already saw the movie.
Yeah.
We haven't seen the movie, but we already saw it.
So based on what the movie presented, the singing was good. Was it super memorable for me as a first time watcher, having never heard any of these songs? Not really.
I see.
But I mean, but they were good. The songs were all good. They all sounded great.
They were catchy in the moment.
They were catchy in the moment.
The main actor, Ben Platt,
Yes.
he was fantastic for this role.
You did a very good job.
It's his role.
There was a few side characters that I was just like, nah, I'm over this character. Particularly his mom.
I think that was the point. I think he was kind of over his mom as well.
No, even when she was singing, kind of doing the the emotional moment. They were supposed
Well, that
to be
was
like,
supposed to be reconnecting, but us as an audience,
we didn't get the connect. We did. It
well,
was
we
more
didn't
of-
feel the connect.
No, it was just annoying.
That could have been the way that it was shot and the song, though.
Let's acknowledge the way that was shot.
Mm-hmm.
It was the same shot, just going back and forth and back and forth. There was no dynamics.
Yeah, like you know, a lot
the
of times in the even when he's sitting there talking to the kid's parents, and he doesn't know what to say, and he starts singing. They don't really acknowledge it as singing. You know, he's just telling them what he's making up. But he gets up and he stands and he's looking out the window and he's turning and he's gesturing, and it's dynamic.
Yes.
But the scene with those two wasn't dynamic.
Yes, and it's not even necessarily that they as actors weren't vibing. It was
The way
halfway through the song, you were like, "Oh, are they gonna repeat the chorus again?"
Yeah.
You know, it's like, "Oh, they're doing it again."
yeah.
Now I'll
And
say
we're
this:
not changing shots.
a lot of the songs, there's a lot of repeat of chorus and
Yeah.
And the
stuff.
opener was terribly long, but you didn't
The
think
opener
about
was-
it too
yeah,
much.
you
opener
didn't think
was
about
good.
it because it was more like
It
something.
was telling a story.
It was
going
more
to
like
school.
and it was very dynamic, and it was more like something that keeps going over and over in his head as he's trying to reacclimate to school.
Yes,
Yeah.
but that's one scene with the mom. It's kind of a black mark on the film, but we have to look past it now.
Black spot.
What did you really enjoy about it?
I mean, his songs were good. They were good.
Okay.
The music was well done. The storytelling was well done. I'm gonna probably give it a 6 out of 10
5.5.
because it's not a movie that I would watch normally.
5.5.
Okay.
Out of 10.
I would read the synopsis for this movie and be like,
Nah. Now, I will say, knowing how the story played out, because I just had listened to the music prior to this film, I was like, oh, I've always wanted to see, you know, the drama play out with the tree and everything and understand the story and the look of it a little better. Because you have an idea of what it's like in your head, but you're like, okay, what is that going to look like? You know what I mean? And it's kind of like when you read a book. You imagine the details, except you have less details than a book. You have just the music, just the story through the music, and that's a lot less details. And so it was really cool to see this, to know basically all the songs, and then see it visually. So then I'm like, okay, now we're getting to this part of the story, and you can see the progression.
yeah.
That was pretty cool for me because I kind of knew what was going on and what was going to happen. You said there was a scene that made you terribly uncomfortable. It was when the mom went to Amy Adams and her husband.
Oh yeah. That was just that happens in real life,
Yes.
though. Just one of those uncomfortable situations where things are being said, and you can see his mom's face as she's processing and taking it all in, and it just and then her responses started becoming more and more clipped and more upset, and she was trying to hold it together, but she was also angry, and that's one of those. And he's trying to I don't think I said that, kind of stuff, trying to sort of cover his ass a little bit.
Yeah.
And it just felt uncomfortable.
It did feel uncomfortable.
I liked
But it was supposed to.
the sister character. I liked the dad character.
Well, the sister
I
/
liked
love interest.
Not his sister.
Not his-
mind
not
you.
Evan Hansen's
friend
sister.
kind of character, the side friend
Yeah,
character.
the sort of reluctant friend.
I liked
He was a
here and there
jokester, yeah.
these characters, even though that's a big spoiler, the girl who did the kind of the club with him that did that thing by releasing the
thing.
the note.
The thing and releasing the thing,
note,
and they
yes.
talked about the thing, and they got upset about the
Yes.
She still was a good character. Did not like Amy Adams' character. Like
thing. Really?
I understand the point of her character, but the way she played it, I don't know.
I'm gonna say Amy Adams. She's doing a lot of, she's doing a lot of like indie horror recently, and she's also doing a lot of mom, like emotional roles recently. And I think she does them really well, but I never like relate to her character.
That's because you're not a mom.
But the thing is, I've seen her in a film where she's not a mom; she's a single who's mentally losing it, but she thinks someone's trying to kill her, and everyone's telling her she's crazy. And you think towards the end, yeah, she's just crazy, and then it turns out
she's not.
She was not crazy. She was trying.
What movie is this?
I can't
It's
remember.
like The Window, wasn't it?
Yes.
I don't remember this.
I didn't have any issues with her character or how she acted, because I know those people that are
Getting on your nerves.
She didn't get on my nerves because she wasn't doing anything wrong. She's just grieving in her own way, and so I didn't have too much issue with her character.
I had no issue with her character. I had no issue with how she acted. I thought it was brilliant. I'm just saying, recently, I have not felt very connected to her performances.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Her performance choices, like the character she's choosing to act as.
Yeah.
And maybe that's for a reason. Maybe she's trying something really new.
Did this movie make you cry? You can admit it.
Yes, and actually, where was it? Actually, no.
No?
I wanted to
Okay.
cry,
There was a
didn't make me
moment.
cry,
There was a
no.
moment where you go like, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know.
And the chin crinkles up a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The movie almost got me.
Okay.
It wasn't quite that big of a reaction. But I could tell if they had leaned into this point a little bit more, it would have got me. And it's when the dad, he's being a dad, and he's holding it all together. And he's continuing to work, and he's continuing to be there for the family as the dad. And then he's at work, and he sees the video.
Well,
Of his stepson playing the guitar.
No, of him singing.
Oh,
This is before that.
Before the guitar.
And he starts to lose it at work, and then he comes home and he's weeping. I was like, that one.
Almost got you, but
Close.
it snuck up on you.
Snuck up on you.
I don't think
'Cause
it
he
snuck
walks
up on
in.
you. I disagree with that.
You disagree that it snuck up on me and how I reacted
No,
emotionally?
I don't know how you
disagreeing with
but I
Wyatt's
think-
emotions?
I think subtly we got more build up than you think.
We did.
With him coming and being like, I gave him everything. I worked hard in my life. He was going through a stage of anger first, and then he kind of let him. So he's going through these stages.
No. You're
up
right.
to it.
They gave us everything we needed for that moment to pay off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
With the dad.
It
Just
built
saying.
up with showing his like stages of how.
I mean how I reacted in the moment. It was close. It was close.
It almost got me.
It almost got me.
Now I'm gonna say it snuck up on me. I knew that he was gonna be sad at some point, but the way they edited it together, the lead up to it, he's leaving work. I was almost thinking he's going, like, he might be slightly pissed, or maybe he's like, I don't know. I wasn't expecting he was gonna walk in and then all of a sudden he was gonna break down, and so it did sneak up on me. I knew the emotion was coming, but I didn't know that moment it was coming. So prepare yourself. It might catch you off guard.
Might catch you off guard. That should be what this is called.
Did you rate it?
5.5.
5.5.
5.5.
7, just because I already knew a lot about it going into it.
Movie.
No.
7. Perfect number.
The only way that a perfect movie is all three of us give it a 10. That's a perfect movie.
I'm gonna have to correct you here. A 7 doesn't represent perfection.
Yeah.
It represents completion. If we're talking about
this movie did go
in the
come
Bible,
to a
Bible
complete-
science.
Bible science.
Okay. I want to know. Okay, what movie would? This is just a quick thought to throw out there. What movie would we all give a 10?
Lord of the Rings.
Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
No. Lord of the Rings.
I would give the series a 10. I would individually rate each movie differently.
Lord of the Rings, Ready Player One.
Shut up.
Shut up.
I'm giving Ready Player One. Every time you say it goes down half a point. Every time you say the name.
All you Ready Player One fans out there.
All right, you're at a 3.5, Joshua.
Comment.
It was in this movie. Ready Player One.
It's the book. Yeah, I did notice that. And
I didn't see that.
As one of the boy that committed suicide, is one of his favorite books was Ready Player One, and he it shows him reading.
That doesn't mean that's not
through all the
significant
books.
for anything.
Just saying, this is your company.
I don't know. I don't know what I would give a 10.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna give it a 5.6. The movie, just for that.
For Ready Player One, it went up a point.
Yeah.
I don't know. Jurassic Park.
It's good. I would say like Lord of the Rings. Like genuinely. I don't know. If Jurassic Park. There's some things with it I would knock down.
Okay. I mean, but we're not comparing similar movies. Those are movies are in no way like similar.
Yeah,
but I would say that as far as just
as a whole, just looking at it by itself, Jurassic
movie,
Park, it's like a 9.
I would give Jurassic Park a 10.
See, I honestly gives it a 9 as well, and the reason for it is because I'm a big fan of Spielberg. I love him as a director. He's one of our finest.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never really happy with the Spielberg endings.
Or with that Jello
And
scene.
I know you like the way the Jurassic Park ends.
How would you have ended it?
I would not have ended it with the T-Rex saving the day.
It didn't save the day. It was just
You're talking
doing.
about
No,
Park,
they
not
were going
Road.
to die, and the T-Rex saves them from death.
It doesn't say it's hunting and it eats something it sees as prey. They just happen to be there.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a coincidence.
All right, let me explain this to you.
There is when you eat Jello.
There's no. You're right.
Honestly, this
hold
is
on.
honest. Okay.
Let me get through this point. There is no such thing as coincidence in movies. The movie happens because that thing happened. It's not a coincidence. It's how the story plays out. You call it a coincidence because you're looking at the movie in hindsight.
Yes. Going back to my point, I would have liked that ending more if the raptors literally ran away because they heard the T-Rex coming. Shut up. Because they heard the T-Rex on its way approaching.
Yeah.
I would have liked that ending. I would have liked that ending more. You're turning all red. The things you find hilarious.
You're watching too much internet stuff.
Back off.
Like an old dude. You're watching too much of that internet.
You are watching YouTubes, and there's pornography on YouTubes.
There practically is if you go to some of those music videos.
Yeah, some of the music
I didn't say it.
All right, if they heard the T-Rex approaching,
Thank you.
I would have, and they ran away from that same moment, I would have found so much more satisfying than a big old T-Rex sneaking up on these masters of hunting.
I think we're derailing from the topic here. We're rating Jurassic Park now.
Well, this is our transition.
But the movie hits all the story beats.
I'm saying all of it's good,
but it's a 9. It's not a 10
because predominantly, including Ready Player One, I don't like most of Spielberg's
But
movie
there's no
endings.
Jello scene in Ready Player One.
I'm down with the Jello scene. I'm down with the ice cream scene. I'm down with all the scenes. I'm just saying the end scene with, and not even the end with them getting a helicopter and seeing the things. That's all fine. It's the freaking climax, save the day moment, and I wasn't. It's too much of like a childhood storybook scenario.
That's what it is supposed to be, though.
Oh my gosh.
Can you imagine Joe's ending though?
How would you end it?
Can you imagine?
I just explained.
Wait, can you imagine how epic it would be if they're all standing there and the Velociraptor's about to pounce and then it turns its head and it runs away, and then the T-Rex comes in and roars? Oh, epic! Wow,
Yeah.
Real cool.
No, this is what you would do. The T-Rex, you build the suspense once more. Because the T-Rex is the greater predator.
No, it is not.
I know you're definitely afraid of raptors, and this is motivated out of fear for you.
They make it clear in the movie that the raptors are the most dangerous.
All right. Well, what I'm saying is you have a T-Rex chase one more time, and he nearly gets the helicopter, and you still have that epic end roar that he gives. You have all the
You
same
mean
thing.
like
You just
on-
changed the format.
You know, Jurassic World.
We also have to think
Like in
about
that movie?
Sure.
We also have to think about the VFX budget. You know, they you know, every scene that they put that CG T-Rex in, that's another how many thousands of dollars. You know, and so to have an end scene where it's running after the helicopter, not in the budget.
You mean kind of like on
in the broad
The
daylight
World,
where they can't
Jurassic
hide
World?
everything.
Yeah.
That's essentially how that one ended.
Yeah, but they weren't, those ones weren't as
Expensive.
limited by the budget
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
V
yeah.
for the VFX at
The
least.
brilliance of Jurassic Park.
Yeah. Well,
It doesn't have to be my ending.
it was
Just
good.
needed a different ending.
Just wasn't perfect.
Wow.
This movie's definitely not perfect. But you know what is perfect?
What?
James Bond is perfect.
James
Wrong, but okay.
Sean Connery's perfect.
Sean Connery is perfect. James Bond, the character that he plays, is not a perfect person.
He is a sinner. He is a.
But
sinner.
when we get into the fan theories, I will be addressing those things that
All
he
right.
does.
Joshua and Wyatt are transitioning to the main topic that we have for today, and it's the reason you clicked on the video. We're going to be talking 007. All of them.
Wait a minute. I don't like this. Why does Daniel get to be up front when like
Because he's the most recent. He's the youngest.
If they were doing, yeah, but I don't know.
Why does Daniel get to be up front? Daniel's shoulders aren't covered by anyone else.
they're not?
Man.
Who do you think has the coolest gun?
Honestly, the way this is formatted, and we'll get into this, I think might be the perfect layout for the good,
The good.
the best Bonds.
So the Walther, the Walther is the James Bond gun.
Yeah.
The what is it? The PPQ.
but, like, His,
Walther PPQ?
You know, you hold it. It's got the fingerprint thing on it. It's
It's a Walther. His is a Walther as well.
They're all Walthers.
This gun here, they're all, even the one that has the hand recognition. Yeah, that one's a Walther.
that's what I'm talking about. The hand recognition.
Yeah,
I know, but I'm saying the hand recognition makes it cooler. Is what I'm saying.
it absolutely is pretty sick. Didn't it have like a?
It's a palm.
Yeah, no,
recognition.
but if when a bad guy pulled the trigger, did it
Yeah,
hurt them, or did it?
I don't think it hurt him. I just think they.
I
couldn't
may be
shoot
thinking
it.
of a different movie.
Yeah, I think they just couldn't shoot it.
Yeah. I've got this, I don't know what movie it's from, but there's this weird memory where a guy has a gun
What's
and he
the-
pulls the trigger
what's-
and there's like small needs come out of the handle and poison
I
him.
think you're talking about Blade.
It's definitely not Blade, but Blade would do something like that.
What's the guy that creates all of 007's weapons?
Q.
Q. Yes, I really like the Q in the newer James Bond.
Yeah, they definitely updated it for the more modern Bond.
Yeah.
They did. And they also didn't have him hold it up in a cheesy way. He just down at his side. Sick. Daniel.
What do you think has the best suit stuff? This picture.
All right, we got a lot to get to. All right, let me tell you guys a story.
Yeah.
There was a fella who served in the Naval Intelligence Division during World War II.
MI6.
His name was Ian Fleming.
Fleming, good guy. Good guy. Know him personally.
He was observing other people who were around him in this division, including his brother Pete.
Pete, good
And
guy.
he
Know him
was
personally.
born a creative. He was born an imaginative
Who,
guy.
Pete or Ian?
Ian. And Ian decides,
That's what people would call
I
him.
want to create
Creative.
a character that is kind of an encapsulation of all of these people I've met during my service, including my brother. So he does. And he says they're going to be a secret agent. They're going to work as the Secret Service of British intelligence. And he starts thinking, what's his name going to be? Well, Ian had a hobby. He enjoyed bird watching.
Okay.
As old men do.
As old men do. And he was kind of older when
He started writing.
he started writing. But he was thinking, what is the name of this character going to be?
Woo.
He initially thought, this was a quote from an interview that he gave to The New Yorker. When I wrote the first one in 1953, I wanted Bond to be an extremely dull, uninteresting man to whom things happened. Wanted him to be a blunt instrument. When I was casting around for a name for my protagonist, I thought, my God, James Bond. It's the dullest name I ever heard.
What are you talking about? That's a sick name.
Only in retrospect, because we know
James.
that
me tell you
James
this.
Bond is awesome.
Let me tell you this. On his bird watching, the reason this name came to his mind is because he knew somebody named James Bond.
Oh, really?
He was a Caribbean. It's a form of biology, and it's a term of bird studies. And I need to reference this so I know what it's called. It's called an ornithologist.
Yes.
And
I knew it was on the tip of my tongue.
there was a man, and this was Ian Fleming, by the way. I meant to go to this slide when I was telling all of that.
Of course, he smokes
Smoking a
cigarettes.
cigarette. He's a writer, creative man. This is James Bond.
James Bond. Well, the name's Bond. James Bond.
This is James Bond, and
sick
this is who Fleming had in his mind.
Is that his brother Pete?
No.
Oh.
This is another guy. I don't really know who it is, and I don't know how to pronounce his first name, but I do know how to pronounce his last name.
Wendell
Let's see, right here.
forgets.
Hoagie.
Hoagie Carmichael.
Hoagie Carmichael.
This is the guy that James Bond, that he imagined James Bond would look like.
James Blonde.
But this is the man who originated the name. And he studied birds in the Caribbean.
What a man.
What a man. Well,
What a guy. What a tie. What a suit.
what a suit.
A lot of texture.
What a
A lot of texture on that suit.
My dad has a suit, just like, the gray one.
Yeah,
It's like
sort of-
all real man.
Once Fleming ironed out the details of this character, this protagonist,
Yep.
mixing these two men together,
He's got the looks. He's got the name.
he started writing, and
Yeah.
he wrote 15 books.
Yeah.
Starting with the classic Casino Royale in
Casino Royale.
1953. And from then, he wrote 15 books based on this character named James Bond.
But Casino Royale isn't the first movie.
It is not.
No.
I believe Goldfinger's the first movie.
No, Dr. No.
Dr.
Dr.
No
No
is the first movie.
It was the first movie. Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I got also.
Oddly enough, I have the timeline for some of these movies.
Why am I not reading these
Now
books
we can,
like right now?
if we need any details about when all these books came out, I wrote it down in case we need it. But the movies started coming out. Dr. No was released in 1962, and the first book came out in 1953. So it was 9 years before they made a movie on his book. But in hindsight, that's a pretty quick turnaround from
That's
someone who
pretty good.
had an idea.
9. I thought we...
The only other big thing Fleming is known for is for writing Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Chitty Chitty.
Yeah.
For someone who's just writing,
Chitty Chitty.
and then in 9 years they're turning your story into a Hollywood film, especially back in the 60s. Wow.
Woo!
You got someone like Sean Connery coming out and acting as your character.
Woo!
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
It is impressive. But
The field guide of birds of the West Indies. I'm familiar with it.
what do you know? That's a shout out. I think I wrote.
I don't know if that's even him.
Let's see. Did I write when Ian died? Let's see. Fleming. I just have a bunch of information about him. Gosh. Okay. He died in 1912.
12.
I think I meant to write 64, but I wrote 94. That's not right.
Oh,
I think he died in 1964.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It wasn't 70 and it wasn't 80.
He didn't even get to see.
64. He was 54 years old.
Oh, wow.
Daniel.
Yeah. And 56, I'm sorry. 56 years old when he died. And that's pretty intense because that means like the same year your movie's coming out, or like 2 years later, I guess, is when like he's dying. He died right after they started making the movies. And now he doesn't even know the craziness of what
he didn't
his
get
story
to see
did.
his.
So basically, he writes
movies.
these books, and this was the novel for the first movie, and then the world takes it. And since then, there's been a whole series of guys that's written additions to the James Bond story.
Oh, very cool.
Stories, other novels after Fleming. But that's a rough history of how James Bond
Came to be.
came to be. Started with birds, started with secret...
Admirers,
Started with World War II and birds.
and a lot of women.
Now,
I think Hollywood probably started. Although I haven't read any of these books, I don't know.
No, I think Bond was a.
I think Bond
Ladies'
was a
man.
woman.
Definitely a ladies' man.
Based on how Sean Connery conducted himself in those movies, I feel like it's probably true to the character.
Probably. We'll have to read one of these.
I will say this. Looking at the movies, and Sean Connery was a dog.
He was a dog.
Out of all the other Bonds, he was a dog.
He really was.
Yeah.
He was. I remember this one woman. He walked in on this woman while she's taking a bath, and she's like, "Could you give me some, privacy?" And he's like, "I'd rather not." and she was like, "Well, could you at least give me something to put on?" And he handed her a pair
Was
of
that-
shoes.
Yeah, I think I've seen that one.
Is that what you were watching last night?
I don't think that was the scene.
Um,
But he did in the scene I was watching last night. She's in a towel and they're like, making out, and she's part of a trap, as they all are, and she sees the dude who's gonna sneak up behind Bond.
And he
sees the dude in the reflection of her eye,
sick.
and then uses her as a human shield, and the dude hits her.
And that's pretty intense.
It was
for
amazing.
The 60s.
It was amazing.
Early 60s. That's crazy.
Fantastic.
All right, so
That's what I call an intelligence agent right there.
So Fleming, do you think he might have been a dog? If he wrote a
don't know.
character like this, or was this like fantasy?
It's
probably fantasy.
Probably fantasy, and if it's not in the books, then it was definitely a Hollywood thing.
Okay, well, let me tell you this.
Was Fleming married? I'm assuming he probably was.
I was about to say this. What's the word that starts with a P? Promiscuity?
Promiscuous?
Promiscuousness lived close to his home.
Uh-oh.
His wife was previously married.
Okay.
And then him and this woman named Anne
They fondue.
started fonduing.
Mm-hmm.
And then she divorced her husband, and Anne married Fleming. That's how he got his wife, and an affair first to a married woman.
Wow, he was a little bit promiscuous.
He was promiscuous.
Yeah.
So let me tell you.
But of course, he was also a naval guy too, right?
And he had a creative mind. He probably had a way with words. He created the guy that's like
And
the
away
most,
with women.
He was the guy that created the most smooth talking super
Secret agent character. Yeah.
in the world. And he walks into a room and he's like, James Bond.
James Bond is tall, dark, and handsome. He is that. When people say, "Oh, I want a guy who's tall, dark, and handsome," they're thinking of James Bond. That's who they're thinking of.
Mostly.
Usually, it's James
Well,
Bond.
do you think the dark might is that hair color, or are we talking about skin complexion?
It could be skin complexion. It could be hair. It
I got you.
could be just sort of a ruddy look.
Yeah.
What? Oh, you know what would be interesting?
Yeah.
A black James Bond.
I think they were gonna do that. They were gonna do that with Idris Elba.
With
They were?
They were, but
with
they changed.
Jordan.
I think they changed that James Bond is gonna be a black lady.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Now I don't know. I don't know.
know about
Swapping
that.
genders is a good
Now,
idea.
even Daniel Craig said they shouldn't make a woman James Bond. They should make a new character with her own backstory.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same thing with Ghostbusters or any of these other movies
Yeah.
we saw, the Ocean's 12 or whatever crap
Yeah.
that was. You don't remake with women. You create
Wyman.
with women.
Yeah.
But yeah, any thoughts about Fleming? I mean,
Fleming,
Joshua
good
has
guy.
some stuff.
I know him personally. He was a bit.
Gosh dang it, Joshua.
But shoo.
I mean, he inspired so much stuff. So much stuff.
Do you want me to go with what I have before Wyatt?
Yeah, we're just kind of going through, but we're talking a little too much facts here.
Fact.
Thanks.
Look
This,
at this.
now,
lineup.
this is chronological?
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm.
Which is the handsomest? Wrong.
No, it's either going to be Sean or it's
Sean.
Daniel.
He's got good eyes.
All of these people in the middle are not very handsome.
You don't think
He's got a
Brosnan's
mole.
attractive?
No. Now,
He's got
the thing is,
He's got a mole.
okay, here's the thing.
Everybody has moles.
All right, let me tell you who's the least handsome. That guy.
the mole.
Yeah.
The one that had one movie.
Yeah. What's his
I think
name?
his name's Timothy or something.
The mole guy.
No, wait. No, his name is
David Niven?
David Niven. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess he had two. No, he had one movie.
This
yeah.
is like a perfect sandwich. I mean, we
The
got
best.
No.
the best
Yeah.
first and last.
Yeah.
No, David
and then
Niven.
a lot of like fluff in the middle.
David Niven was
Like-
the guy that did the one that
a
wasn't
lot of
canon.
baloney.
So
We're
this
talking
is
about-
George Lazenby?
No, this is Timothy Dalton, I think.
What?
No, this is Timothy Dalton.
Yeah.
Because this is Pierce.
Yeah.
So this guy down here is George Lazenby.
That would be okay. So
Because it
that's George
came
Lazenby.
after Sean.
I don't know that I've seen any of his.
Well, he only made one movie.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've seen his. Then.
But the fans did not say that wasn't canon.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they didn't like that mole. They didn't want that mole to be canon.
I'll tell you this guy was way too smiley.
Yeah.
This guy did not feel like James Bond.
Yeah. My dad said that. Yeah. The one before Brosnan, Timothy Dalton, Brosnan, and the other ones, all felt like James Bond. He said Roger Moore.
This guy?
Yeah, Roger Moore. He's like, Roger Moore is my least favorite James Bond.
No, Roger Moore is terrible.
He's like,
yeah,
he
He's
said,
so
he's terrible.
hokey.
he said
Yeah.
Roger Moore is the hokiest, and he
He's so
just
hokey.
is boring.
Yes.
He's
I liked
so
it better
boring.
That's
on
exactly
James
what I
Bond.
thought. These were my
Looney Tunes.
Was he on? No, he wasn't.
I'm kidding.
Joshua was.
He was a Looney Tunes, but
He was?
yeah.
No, you're thinking this one.
Am I thinking of the?
This
yeah.
one was on Looney Tunes?
No.
Is that not who you're talking about?
You're
This
talking
guy.
about
You
this guy.
pointed directly
No.
to this-
Roger Moore is
Oh.
that one.
I got my guys mixed up.
Yeah.
All right. If I'm going to say who the best Bond is, it's a split between Daniel and
Yeah.
Connery. Both ends of the spectrum. All of these guys, this was a good Bond, this was a good Bond. They did not have the face for James Bond. They're not super attractive. Sean Connery and Daniel Craig are the two most attractive Bonds.
I'll give you this. Aside from attraction, I think Connery
and conduct.
Connery encapsulates everything they were doing in these movies the best as sort of a in the way that it was more than just a serious spy movie. There was a lot of wacky stuff that happens as nods, that show you it's very clearly not real, but they were having fun with the idea of this super spy.
It's kind of
Yeah.
like
And it was
The Joker.
ingenuitive.
yeah.
The Joker?
I've got a point to this. It's like the Joker. Everybody who plays the Joker after Heath Ledger, they're gonna play kind of this version. They're gonna throw him in there a little bit, but then
almost
they're gonna
a
try to
little.
put their own spin on it. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad.
But you're going to get the people who also say that who was the Joker before Heath?
Yeah, nobody.
Tim Burton's
no,
film.
no.
Oh,
no. He's not
Jack
canon.
Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson.
He's not canon.
There's a lot of
He's not
people
canon.
that say Jack Nicholson was the best Joker. Sorry.
Jack Nicholson encapsulated a lot of what made the Joker good. We're not
But
talking
he's-
about Batman. But I'd say in this era, Connery represents it the best. But since this is a hard reboot,
Yeah.
and
Daniel did a pretty
transitions from wacky fun adventure movie to Mission Impossible in these movies.
Yeah.
Which, okay.
Okay.
Are you not a big fan of Daniel?
Speaking of...
No. I like Daniel Craig and I like the acting, but these are serious action spy movies that Daniel Craig stars in, and that's not how I always saw James Bond.
You saw him a little silly.
He was kind of there was a lot of fun stuff happening. His movies aren't fun.
This, I mean, he was
Pierce
a relaxing
Brosnan.
presence.
Yeah.
Pierce. He was a relaxing, good vibe that I think that had a well mix of things. I'm just saying his presence on camera, the way he looked, his appearance, it doesn't have that catching factor.
Yeah.
I brought this up about Al Pacino.
Yeah.
If you're going to have a character like James Bond, where all the women in the room look at him when he walks in, you
So
can't
what
have
you're
someone
saying-
with that looks like this.
Yeah, he's got to
Or
look
like this.
unique.
Or like that. Or like that
Okay,
guy.
Timothy Dalton has a unique look
Wait,
about
wait,
him. He's handsome.
what?
Timothy Dalton.
So what you're saying
He's
is
handsome.
you
He's a
want,
handsome man.
No,
you want
you
Pete
saw-
Davidson to be the next James Bond.
This is what Timothy Dalton
Is
looked
that what
like
you're saying?
as this is what Timothy looked like throughout the entire 2 movies of his James Bond run. He looked like this.
Okay, maybe. I'll definitely say Connery has such a unique charm to him.
Yes. I mean, look
That-
at that face.
Look at that face.
yeah.
You want to kiss him right now. I
Well,
want to kiss him.
He's a little old there. Maybe a few years but younger.
So, I mean,
He's still fine for his age.
also his
I mean,
shoo. I mean, he was just a good-looking guy.
yeah.
Okay.
Soft on the eyes.
Easy on
All
the
right.
eyes. And maybe soft.
Okay. These pictures actually represent their vibes perfectly. Cool, little bit of a jokester. This guy's just goofy.
That's suave.
Suave. Okay.
Yeah.
Sean.
Suave.
Okay. The next guy,
Too smiley.
George, I think. Yeah, goofy.
Goofy.
Not good.
Boring.
New boots goofy.
No, a thinker.
Roger Moore. Boring.
Okay. A thinker.
Dalton.
Hokey, bad acting.
Okay.
Trying to be cute.
Trying too hard.
No, he was trying too hard.
You think?
He was a good Bond. I'm just saying he tried to
The movies
I don't know what to think about
themselves.
this guy.
The movies were trying too hard. There was a lot of stuff that was really bad to watch in those movies.
Yeah, probably. And
lot of
they
VFX
were,
stuff that
they were
was
coming
terrible.
out like in the switch to the 2000s, so they're not super old films. Pierce next to Daniel is the most recent James Bond, and I don't think like his presence on camera just didn't grab me as a person. Daniel Craig is the dark, mysterious, but still James Bond. It's the 2020.
He's more of like he's more the strong silent Bond.
It's this what he's telling us right here.
Yeah.
That's his vibe.
Yeah. Strong silent
I mean,
Bond.
like those, shorts he wore. The you know
I
exactly.
know what you're talking about.
But
Yeah.
he's got that piercing, those piercing eyes. Now I'm not trying to boy crush on this guy,
Yeah.
but Daniel Craig's eyes are something to behold.
Yeah.
And so it makes sense that
Got good
women
eyes.
look at him and they're like, "Oh, what's your name?" And he's like,
What's your name? Bond.
Bond.
Well, actually, it's more
James.
like, hold on. It's Bond.
Yeah, find the lips.
You get a
Small upper lip.
real small.
Bond.
A little bit of a lower.
Name's
Bond.
Bond. James Bond. Bond.
Yeah.
Bond.
Yeah, that's
James Bond.
That's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look, he does have a fat lower
Yeah, he
lip.
does. Those British guys, no upper lip on some of them.
On some of them. Yeah, they're all bottom lip. All right, Joshua, what do you have for us?
Well, you guys basically took all my points. I'm kidding.
What are you talking about?
You took a few of my clips. I pulled this guy up because for some reason I was thinking of this guy, Nathan. How do you pronounce that last name?
The guy that he plays on Firefly.
Filoni?
Filion.
Fillion?
Show the camera.
Filon?
Show the camera your
Somehow-
pictures.
So let me
Flip it.
this
No, show your camera. It's closer.
Get it close.
better picture of this one. This guy.
Yeah.
I for some reason I was thinking like you'd play a good like SNL skit James
Bond. You would play a great SNL skit, James Bond. Isn't it funny though how our minds work? It's like this guy would play a good James Bond. This guy would be a good SNL skit, James Bond.
Yeah. Okay, so I have I was just saying, like, Sean Connery and Roger Moore have played the most roles as James Bond. Both played 7 movies.
Whew.
And then Daniel has come in right behind him with 5 movies. I'm counting
How many did Pierce play?
No Time to Die.
2?
No,
1?
Pierce had quite a few.
Pierce had 4.
Did he really?
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4.
From 95 to
He's
02.
right. Pierce had 4.
Pierce had 4. But
yeah, Roger Moore had a bunch.
7. Roger Moore and Sean Connery both had 7.
So the Thinker Bond, Roger Moore. Mm-hmm. He had a lot. The same as Sean Connery.
Yeah.
And then now with No Time to Die, if they make one more, does Daniel tie them?
No, he needs 2 more.
2 more.
2 more films.
And not including No Time to Die.
That's including. He has 5 including No Time.
Okay, so he needs 2 more after No Time.
Yep.
All right. You think they're going to hit it is the real question.
No, I think this might be his last run, to be
They
honest.
are presenting it as, with the last 2, he's getting too old for the job.
I disagree with that. I like his age range, and he'll just be an older James Bond. I like that. Something, because I know we were going to talk about all the actors, and that's kind of what we've been talking about. So I wanted to bring up a topic that you have slides for. Give me a slide. Okay, so these are a lot of actors that were almost cast as James Bond. Like, they were this close. This close. They didn't make it, but they were this close. We have Dick Van Dyke. We have Henry Cavill. We have Hugh Jackman. We have Mel Gibson. We have
Ewan McGregor.
Ewan McGregor. I can never say his name.
Sam.
And yes, and Clint Eastwood. We have. Is there anybody? Let's talk about this for a minute. Do you like this list? Who would you pick over out of these the best?
I would
who
pick.
do you not like?
I would pick none of these over Daniel Craig or Sean Connery.
I think that as far as
Clint Eastwood, I could see.
Clint is all American. He can't play a British.
I don't
You're
think.
right.
Yeah,
You're right.
I would say I would choose either Ewan McGregor or Sam Neill, because
Okay.
Sam Neill,
Yeah.
when he was young, had a similar look to Sean Connery, with the face, with the nose, and
His
everything.
head is very round though, but yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
well,
with that
most
forehead, he
people's
looks kinda like the
people's
It
head are
Clown.
round, you know.
Doesn't he kind of look like the It Clown with the forehead?
Yeah, but I would also say Ewan McGregor. When he shaves, he's got sort of a Bondy look,
yeah.
and I think he looks better than a lot of the other Bonds that have been James Bond.
I think Henry Cavill could have played the role. He was
definitely
in Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
We talked about this before.
He's too jacked to be.
If he
is
slimmed up just a little bit, he could play the role. I also think it'd be interesting. I don't like that I don't think they should have, but it would be interesting to see what Dick Van Dyke would have played with the character.
Yeah, that would have been
because Dick Van Dyke, he's in a lot of comedic roles,
Yeah.
but I think he has this side of him, and he's a really good actor, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That-
Roll up on a woman and be like, Chimney.
Yeah.
I likes you, my honey, and I likes what I see.
I was gonna say get in bed with me.
Yeah. Friggin' Dick Van Dyke, if it was him or Sean Connery all the way. But yeah, you're saying it could have been interesting. Mel Gibson is a hard no.
It's a hard no for
hard no
me.
for me, bud.
That's a hard no for me there, bud.
Same with Clint.
Yeah.
Clint and Mel Gibson can't do a British role.
I don't know that I would give it to Huey Jackman either. He's too short.
And Hugh Jackman is a
Short of like anything I pick. No, I feel like he
Hugh
doesn't
Jackman
have
is
to-
an Aussie.
Yeah, but Sam Neill's from New Zealand.
So, well, it looks like these are the only 2 good options.
Well, Sam Neill played an American.
McGregor.
and Chris
British people play Americans all the time.
And Chris Hemsworth is from Australia, and he rocks a British accent in Thor.
Hemsworth could play the role?
No,
Those British people are fickle.
they really
They
are.
don't want an American rolling up on their superhero,
Yeah,
secret agent.
but
character
again,
and taking it from
I wouldn't cast an American as James Bond. I would
So you
cast
got Ewan
Idris
McGregor,
Elba.
Yeah.
and you got Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Now Idris Elba is also an Aussie, just like
No, he's not.
I think he is.
No, he is not. He is from London.
Hey Siri,
He has a Cockney accent.
where was Idris Elba born?
Idris Elba was born in London Borough of Hackney.
How'd you know that?
Because I watched the interview, The Hot Ones, with
Yeah.
Sean Evans.
Okay, fine. He's from Attenborough or whatever that said.
Hackney.
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 Hackney. He's from Hackney.
There's a lot of interesting picks here.
Yes, and I
There's
think
a reason why none of them got it, but it's interesting. in my
Henry
opinion.
Cavill would be a good pick if he slimmed up, because he is beautiful.
He's got the face and he's got the acting chops. He played sort of a Bond-like character in The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
But here's the real question:
My uncle.
Your uncle.
because most likely he was competing against Daniel Craig.
Could be.
Most likely,
Could be.
I think Daniel Craig's better pick.
Probably.
Yeah.
Daniel Craig has for the type of Bond, I think Craig's the better pick.
Yes.
For the type of story they're trying to tell.
You said
Yeah.
slim up. Daniel
he's
Craig
too-
was not
No.
small and
He
has a different body type.
Different body type. Have you seen him with the shirt off? He's got
I saw him
muscles
in those shorts, yes.
but he's got the body. He's got the body type to wear a slim fit suit
Yeah.
and it not look like he's bursting out of it.
Yeah.
Henry Cavill would.
Henry
he's
Cavill's
Superman.
suits are massive.
Yeah, they're huge, and he's gonna
It's
tower
essentially
over everything.
shoulders.
It's in your bone structure.
Yeah, and also like James Bond needs to be a dull person.
Yeah,
So he
yeah.
has to kind of like not
Okay,
be
he's not
towering
dull.
over everybody.
Sean Connery's tall.
Fleming's original idea was that he was a dull person.
Yeah, but that's not where he ended
Maybe we
up.
should.
True.
He was a dull person. I didn't catch anything past that.
Sorry. Fleming's original idea for Bond was that he was a dull person.
Yeah,
He didn't bring too much attention to himself.
but I mean, and that's the way that agents and spies should be. They should be very, most spies are very dull, very plain looking people you'd never suspect. But James Bond is not that person.
Yeah.
well, Henry Cavill, if he walked in a room, everyone's like, that guy's a secret agent for sure.
That dude's a secret agent. and for the most part, in the James Bond movies, everybody's like, okay, that's
yeah.
that's the
That's the
guy.
man.
Yep.
But I'm kind of okay. All right, now if Clint, okay, here's an even more interesting question. Obviously not Sean Connery, but the other guys that came after.
Mm-hmm.
Would any of them? I'm guessing probably Sam, Clint, Mel Gibson. These are probably picks for these choices after Sean Connery. Would any of these guys be better? You probably think Sam, right?
I would probably choose Sam over Timothy Dalton. Maybe Pierce Brosnan as well.
Definitely George for that one-off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
George was terrible. He was like I watched this one scene where he saved a girl out of the water, and he laid her on the beach, and she woke up. I guess she was walking in the water, sleepwalking or something. And full disclosure, I haven't seen that movie. I just watched clips from it. He looked down at her, and he's like, "Hi, my name's Bond, James Bond," with a big old grin on his face. That's so dumb.
Yeah,
it
that's
wasn't
kinda
cool at
dumb.
all. James Bond doesn't introduce himself like,
he's gotta have suave.
Yeah, see, Connery would have been smiling as well, but
He
he
would've
would
been
have said something quippy.
he would have been like, "You're wet."
Yeah, he would have said something like off color, something.
Yeah.
You know.
It's interesting.
What's our next slide? Is that all we had for that category?
That's that category.
Oh.
We're opening up. You introduce
Okay.
this.
All right.
Oh no.
We're transitioning.
So I went on the internet.
Oh no, not the
I looked
internet.
up a couple fan theories and things.
Not the fan theories.
I didn't go too deep into them.
'Cause you can get real deep.
The Redditors that write these out actually have very in detail theories. I didn't read all of them.
Yeah.
We're just gonna hit the points, and we're gonna sort of talk about what you guys think of some of these theories.
Oh no.
So full disclosure,
Theories.
we're talking about
These are theories. These are not.
James Bond.
We don't have to
theories.
keep this up. If you want to go pull up
we're keeping
James
it up.
Bond.
So when people scrub through and they see this, they know we're in the theory
Okay.
section.
I mean, because the theory, the all the Bonds in a row would work good for this as well.
Yes, we're gonna keep this
So
up.
James Bond theories, the biggest, the most prevalent is, and I'm sure you guys know this, that James Bond 007 is a code name.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
You guys know that? That theory?
Code name.
anybody-
Go into this. I don't know any James Bond theories.
Is this what you're saying? What the code name means? Or did we talk about what 007 is at all?
Oh, what 007
Yeah.
is?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
is there a meaning for that?
I don't know.
It's his
I
agent
think
number.
it's just his agent number.
'Cause there's a lot of
There's like
00s.
006, there's 00, there's
Okay.
other agents.
There's other double O's.
I just
He's
wanted to
just
clarify
007.
kinda.
He's
So-
00 per
Perfect.
completion.
So 007, James Bond, the theory is that, you have all these different actors, that James Bond is a code name for multiple people. That as time goes on, because each of these Bonds goes on missions and goes to places and has technology according to their time period and where they're at in history. And as time goes on, it gets more advanced and blah, blah, blah.
Is this a multiverse theory?
There is a multiverse theory. I
you're
didn't
jumping
write that
ahead.
down because I didn't care about it.
We're talking about Bond, not Marvel.
Yeah.
Bring Bond into the Marvel universe. Shoo!
Oh, gosh. So, what do you guys think about there being multiple Bonds?
Yeah. So
Is that
so when a 007 dies, they have to replace him with a new 007.
Yeah.
And so that will actually, the thing is, that's something you can just think of naturally.
Yeah.
Because you're like, if these books are in canon order and we have all these different versions of 007, they keep creating new ones to maybe cash grab, but also some of them are just cool as crap, man.
Or they could be like, who's ever picking the Bond characters or the guys. They got Sean Connery's Bond, and they're like, we got him. And then the next guy rolls around and like, we real messed up on this one.
Yeah, they got Sean Connery, and then they messed up the whole way until
Yeah.
Daniel Craig. I like that idea. That's something that makes sense. And also, in the Pierce series, the woman who's the director of M something,
M. Night Shyamalan?
is it M.I.?
Oh, yeah.
M.I. something?
What?
No,
The
that's...
organization. M.I.
MI6?
Yes. No, it's not Mission Impossible.
That's not what I was going to say.
MI6.
Yeah.
The woman that plays the director in the Daniel Craig.
Dame
also,
Judi Dench, yes.
She also played in the Pierce films.
And
Yeah, she played multiple.
and what's his name? The one before Pierce.
Yeah.
She was in
she's
that
been
one
in
as well.
Hokey one? The one
She
that was
played
bad?
Hope.
Timothy?
Yeah,
Timothy, yeah. She was in that one. She was in Pierce Brosnan.
So she's the connection. She's the Illuminati.
So
Wait, what's the British version of the Illuminati?
probably the Illuminati.
Okay.
So
It's the
so
British
yeah, so
version
that's
of the
one
Illuminati.
of the biggest. That's one of the biggest theories that's one of the reasons people are saying, oh, James Bond could be played by anybody,
Yes.
a man, a woman, of any ethnicity. The issue is there's too much proof against that theory.
Okay. What's the proof?
So there's too much proof in the previous movies
Proof is in the
with
pudding.
Sean Connery, with Roger Moore, with previous actors, that Sean Connery gets married. His wife is killed. He doesn't like to talk about her. And in all the other series, if when she's brought up, James Bond gets uncomfortable. He doesn't talk about it. In some movies, they carry over some storylines. Moneypenny, I believe, is the same in from like 3 different actors. It's the same actress, and all the way up from Connery to even I want to say, yeah, from Connery to Brosnan. They are canonically the same person. So, I mean, timeline-wise, 40 years, whatever, doesn't make sense for it to be the same person.
Especially as it gets younger.
But, and then the new James Bond, they started over. So Daniel Craig's Bond started over. He gets married.
Yes.
His wife dies.
And that would be why the first one was called Casino Royale.
Yeah.
Back in 2006, 2008.
That's that theory. There's a lot of proof, and I have my own theory of how you could make the multiple James Bonds, each with the same code name, a reality. The next one is that Dame Judi Dench's character is Moneypenny. That's an easy theory to get behind, that her character was Moneypenny, and Moneypenny is another secret code name type thing, and that she worked her way up the ranks.
Wow.
Because they reference in her movies that she's she was in Shanghai at a certain time in one of the movies.
Yeah.
And that coincides with when Moneypenny was in Shanghai.
That's enough proof.
Also,
okay.
You may think M stands for mother. Could be Moneypenny. I know M is the name canonically of the director. That's his code name, like Q. But Moneypenny.
Moneypenny. Could be Moneypenny.
Here's a fun one. Raul Silva in which Craig movie is that? He's the bad guy. He really hates M.
Here's the list of
Of Craig.
Oh wait, Craig's.
Craig.
The new
Craig.
Give me Craig. Here we go. Craig.
So the third
Quantum
one.
Solace.
The third one.
It's
Skyfall.
It's Skyfall.
Yeah. I knew which one it was. I just couldn't
So
think of
the
name.
bad guy in Skyfall, Raul Silva.
The guy with no jaw.
Yeah.
The guy that has a thing in his face.
If you adhere to the James Bond is multiple people, that he was James Bond at one point. And it would and the theory actually goes on to say that he is in fact Pierce Brosnan's James Bond, because when he was an agent coincides with when Pierce Brosnan was James Bond.
What?
And that he has so much resentment for M and for MI6.
That would be interesting.
Because he's been, he even goes on monologues about how, she'll throw you away like trash, and he at the end of the movie when he sees the gravestones of James Bond's parents, he like scoffs at them like they're not real. But
that's interesting.
yeah,
That's an
that one's an interesting theory
one
too.
I like that one.
But the proof's right in front of us.
In
They
the pudding.
didn't bring back Pierce.
Yeah, they didn't.
There's the proof. It's in the pudding
So
itself.
here's another one that's fun. Sean Connery's Bond is Daniel Craig's Bond's father. So that
Nice.
he after he retired, he moved to the country, went by I think it was Arthur.
Did he get
Arthur
married?
Bond. Got married.
Who was
I
Sean
don't like that
Connery's
one as
wife?
much. I don't like
I'm not
the
a fan
passing
of,
down.
I'm not as
theory.
much a fan of that one, but it's a fun idea that Connery's Bond, and that's why after they die,
That'd be sick
Craig
if we got
becomes
some of these
James
theories
Bond.
in the new movie.
Hold on. I'm trying to look. Did Sean Connery's Bond at the end settle down with a woman?
I don't know.
Because I was gonna look to see if she was a blonde with the eyes that pierce through you.
Let's see. Sean Connery Bond. There was another one I didn't write down because it doesn't make a lot of sense. But now that we're here, I did want to
Let's
say
say
it. Have you guys ever seen the movie The Rock with Sean Connery and
I have not.
Nick Cage?
No, I'm not a Nick Cage fan.
I don't
really.
think so, actually.
Okay,
I am, but
Oh, you
Haven't
I think
seen a lot
you
of
guys would like The Rock.
Okay.
It's fun. It's action cheese. It's Sean Connery. So in
And
The
Nick
Rock,
Cage.
they have to break into Alcatraz, which nobody's ever broken out of, except for Sean Connery's character, who is a former MI6 agent. Nobody knows his real name. He's been in prison for 40 years. And so, the theory is like his character in The Rock is James Bond.
Yeah.
He even quotes something from one of the old James Bond movies.
So it's literally James Bond.
He is James Bond.
in The Rock.
Yeah,
and
in
he's
The
hanging
Rock.
out with
with Nick Cage.
Nick Cage.
And then my theory, which I think
Is the theory.
there's other I think there's other theories that are similar, is that it is the whole origin story for James Bond, his wife dying, everything is brainwashing that they put the agents through.
Okay.
Like everything before his wife dying is all brainwashing, and that's how they can have code names. That's how James Bond could be different people, because it's the same story. They take these orphans, they brainwash them,
I
they
can see that.
create James Bond. And it would even work for Silva being James Bond, in that like he realizes that he had been hardwired, and Casino Royale, that his James Bond is
kind of like Jason Bourne theory, though.
yeah.
It's essentially
Yeah,
the
that
Jason
you
Bourne
brainwash
theory.
your agents, and that would make sense for like they don't actually directly reference his wife in Brosnan's, but when they say like, were you married, and he like gets upset and leaves the room or something.
But dude, okay, hold on.
That's a theory.
But going back to Fleming,
Yeah.
he served in World War II. The Nazis, people, they were very much involved with this idea of mind control. All the way to the 60s, when they were doing experiments with drugs
Yeah.
regarding mind control. What was it? Midnight Climax and all these different, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
They
had crazy names.
the Unabomber was one of those people
yeah.
that were tested on. So yeah, he was writing these novels between the time of what was on everybody who is in any kind of secretive service position was thinking about mind control.
Mind control. So yeah, James Bond is.
So yeah, Fleming was probably thinking
different.
about
It could be
this.
different people that think that they are James Bond, who their father's Arthur or Adam Bond. I don't remember his name, and that their wife was this lady and she was killed, and maybe or I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's all brainwashing, and that connects to why is James Bond the way he is? Why is he
A robot, essentially?
why is he such a charming person? Why is he always out on missions? Why does he drink? Why is he such a womanizer?
To mask the pain.
To mask the pain. They need an agent.
Kind of like me.
They need an agent with no with no connections. And so they give him a tragic backstory so that he will never have any emotional connection with the women he's with. And in fact, he will use these women to further his goal into getting closer to the villain and, that kind of stuff.
And here's an interesting thing. I saw this on a meme. It says that James Bond, across all the movies, was with 44 women. 33 of them tried to kill him.
Yeah.
So yes, he does use these women.
Yeah.
Either physically, but predominantly.
To
Dual action. Physically
Dual action.
and to reach his goal of taking out the
for
bad guy.
informational
For
purposes.
informational purposes. Your
Right
information's
click.
very beautiful.
Pick anybody, not the people that were on the list or anything.
To play-
any actor out there to play Bond.
Play Bond.
I want
Play Bond.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
What?
I think Levitt could probably do a good job. He's probably a little older now.
He is already doing Robin, according to Christopher Nolan.
Wait. Is that a thing?
No, it's not a thing. It's just he set him up as that right before they finished.
Here's the issue. I'm trying to think of British actors. I would choose Idris Elba. Personally, I would choose Idris Elba. I think he would do a phenomenal job, even though he's probably similar in age to Daniel Craig.
Still good.
I think Idris Elba would do so good as James Bond.
What are you going for, Joseph?
It's hard for me to pick, man.
Just throw a name out there.
Chris Pratt. No, I don't. I'm trying to think.
Tom Holland.
No.
I don't.
Like a young James
my
Bond.
my gut thinks Benedict Cumberbatch, but he's not the attractive type. He's already been Sherlock.
Mm-hmm.
He's more of a Sherlock character Bond.
I don't know, honestly.
Okay. Well,
I kind of agree with Idris Elba. I'm not sure about Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I think it feels wrong for me to say we're going to cast an American for a Bond. Yeah.
and
Now, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, I don't know if you guys saw that movie with him and Bruce Willis.
yeah.
He played a perfect young Bruce Willis. I didn't think it would work. He's like studied his mannerisms, the way he like holds his mouth when he speaks, and it was so perfectly Bruce Willis. I was like, wow.
But Joseph Gordon-Levitt did another.
Looper.
Yeah.
He did another film where he was playing Edward Snowden. Did you watch that one?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that
perfectly.
one.
I haven't seen it, but
You can watch.
he's good. He's good.
You can watch Edward Snowden
He's good.
talk to Joe Rogan on his podcast, and then go watch the movie that Joseph Gordon-Levitt played. Very close.
I feel like if you picked the right actor, whether they have to dye their hair, whether they have to wear a wig, if you pick the right actor that knows how to play a character well, they could do it.
That's interesting. You want to plug some stuff before we do the memes?
Yeah. So we have, obviously, if you're watching this and you're new to here, we come out with a new episode every Monday, 7 a.m. on the Wiseworks podcast
And
YouTube
maybe
channel.
Wednesday?
Sometimes. Well, we're full disclosure,
Flirting with
we
it.
are discovering new ways to create content.
Yes.
And as you've seen from our subscriber count, we're not super high right now. So now's the time to experiment, which is what we're doing. But we do know two things. On Monday morning at 7 a.m., a podcast comes out on YouTube and on the audio podcast platforms like Spotify and Apple Podcasts and Stitcher and iHeartRadio. The other thing is that on those same apps, that's audio only, we come out with a midnight special episode of the Wiseworks podcast at 10 p.m. on Friday nights, every single Friday. It's audio only, so you don't get a chance to see us. However, it is a good time.
It is good.
Fantastic time.
That's
always fun.
Monday morning at 7 and Friday nights at 10 p.m. Now, let's react to some memes.
Memes.
Let's laugh. Let's giggle. I started with mine because I'm still not a good memer.
Look, I forgot about the memes this week, so none of mine are thematic.
Well, mine are thematic. They're the same meme, just done differently.
Okay.
I'm
real?
really into this Anakin and Padme meme right now
It's
with
funny.
the facial changes.
Funny.
So I found these two that made me chuckle or just think, oh, maybe. So we got Susan. We're talking about the CEO of YouTube.
Wait, what? Are you about to offend somebody right now?
No, we're talking about the CEO of YouTube. I'm gonna change the world, YouTube watchers, for the better. That face. She says more ads and demonetization for swearing. I don't know. I think I liked it because of that grin.
It always gets you.
It's just imagine
silly.
YouTubers.
And then he's just so disappointed.
Why? Why, Susan? Second meme. I'm going to adapt Game of Thrones past the books. All of us. For the better, they're looking at you.
For the better, right? For the
That
better,
face really sells it. They're looking at you like, I don't know.
right?
Sad day.
Yeah, that was a sad day. Let's move on. It's too sad.
All right, Joshua.
I don't know. We've been just, Marvel in it lately. I just thought Rocket is funny.
It looked like melted ice cream.
That's kind of old.
That's the original Thor, right?
Yeah,
Nice.
it's an interpretation of Thor.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I love taking long walks. Try to impress her. That's what he's thinking in his head. Try to impress her. Once I walked up to Mordor.
That's such a nerd meme.
That is a nerd. meme.
Yeah.
Look
but-
at that face.
Yeah, he's
like,
so happy.
Once I walked up to Mordor.
I love Sean's character in Stranger Things.
What a tragic character.
Tragic.
What was his
character,
name?
Great
Dave?
death.
Is it Dave?
Yeah, I think
Bill?
No, it wasn't Dave.
so. It was Tim.
No.
It was so bland. I don't even remember.
Hey Siri. The name of Sean Austin's character in Stranger Things.
This is Stranger Things.
Ted? Was it Ted?
No. I'm just gonna look it up. Ugh. Okay. Sean Austin, Stranger Things.
There you go. He streamlined it.
Mm.
Come on, Stranger Things.
Now it's just gonna bring you to Stranger Things.
Now I gotta go to cast.
Now you gotta go to cast.
Now I gotta find Sean Austin. Where you at, boy? Bob. everybody
Yeah.
who was watching
Bob.
or listening to this are like,
They're like, Bob!
It's Bob. Bob.
Yeah.
Haven't seen it in a minute.
This last one, I want to preface before you flip to it. This is Wyatt on the couch at like 11 o'clock at night.
I don't stay up till 11. I go to sleep around 10.
Blue cheese lovers eating literal mold, trying to tell you it tastes good. That's
This
funny.
is both of you at like 11 o'clock at night.
I really
Actually,
like
you
blue
know what?
cheese.
Yeah, that's
You know
probably
what?
right.
That's a nasty piece of looking. Actually,
That
looks
looks good.
delicious.
that looks good.
Share that, Will.
Give me
Come
some
on.
of that Danish cave cheese, blue
Dude.
cheese. That Danish cave blue.
Friggin', I love
Aged
blue
for a
cheese.
couple months in a cave.
In a cave.
I don't know why they call it cave. Cave cheese.
All right, Wyatt, yours are next.
Yeah, I don't even remember what I put on. Dab. Drugs are bad. Look at his eyes. This hot dog is high as a kite. He smoked all the drugs to save us.
I don't know if they can see that, but those eyes are going the opposite direction.
He smoked all the drugs to save us.
Drugs are bad.
But
That's got to be a thing. Gotta start doing that. when we're talking
Oh
about drugs.
gosh. Dab on the haters. So where's the TV remote? the TV remote.
that's Pink Panther.
That is
right
Pink
there.
Panther.
I haven't seen this movie.
Oh
but
my god.
TV remote's just hiding.
Oh man.
Wasn't Pink Panther where they're like
Yeah, they're
spread out
like-
this?
there's
and they
these-
do like the flips.
Yeah, these patterns of this pattern and like a pearlescent pattern on the wall, and they're just the back side of them is pearlescent. Amazing.
All right.
Me, 21, getting lunch with a friend, 25. Is that how it feels to sit and talk with Joe sometimes?
What?
Huh?
Are you saying I'm that old?
We call him Grandpa Joe for a
Look,
reason.
you are 24.
I know.
You are just 2 years behind me.
I know. And it's still funny.
I really feel this old, do you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes. Oh,
Hate
man.
to see it. Hate to see it.
Whew.
Okay.
Is that it?
Well, on a lighter note, that's not gonna just end this episode with my feelings hurt. We have another YouTube channel called Wiseworks
Oh,
Studio.
we're plugging again?
Yeah, we plug the podcast, I guess, and then we'll plug the studio at the
I
end.
thought we were done plugging.
Subscribe to this channel, Wiseworks Podcast. Like, comment. We've given you a lot of information today. We want to hear your thoughts. Please.
A lot of
We want to
James
hear.
Bonds.
We want to talk to you so much in the comments on this video because we have done.
We enjoy some comments. We do
Yeah.
some good
Research.
comments.
Yeah. So
Feel free to correct us on any James Bond lore.
and tell us you're better than us.
Yeah.
what
We actually appreciate that the
Yeah.
most.
We want to know that there's other people out there that care about James Bond more than us.
No commenting.
I really
on-
want to find the people that love James Bond so much.
That's what I'm saying. We will, if we title this video, the full breakdown of James Bond, even if it's not 100% true.
James Bond for the lovers, or never mind. No.
Okay.
Well, if we put a
Gone
scandalous look
sexual.
but like I said, we have a second channel called Wiseworks Studio. We have shorter clips, shorter content. If that's your thing, subscribe to us there. We'd love to hang out with you there on that channel as well. Dual action. Subscribe to both channels and you'll see all of our stuff.
Good night.
Good night. This is not the midnight special. End it better.
Good day. Have a good day,
Good
sir.
day.
Good day, sir.
Good day.
The name's Bond. James Bond. The name. I got it. One more.
The name's Krieg. Daniel
The
Krieg.
name's Josh.